Hello and welcome to the Cardiff City Stadium for today's game as Championship football returns following the international break. It's Cardiff City against Burnley. We kick off at 3 o'clock. This is Prematch Live. We'll be with you right up until kick-off, where you can switch over to Clarets Plus for live audio commentary or a full match stream in selected territories around the globe. With me today is Dave Wilson. Dave, good afternoon.
How are you? Very good to be here. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. It seems a while, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Every time we have an international break, it does always feel like that. Everybody's thirsty to get back into league football, and yeah, I mean, like going off how we were playing before the international break, I think that's going to be particularly the feeling, really, because, you know, felt like a lot of the lads have been saying, you know, felt like we had quite a bit of a bounce about us, and yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of the lads are keen to get underway today.
Two changes. Charlie Taylor back in for Jordan Bear, and also Johan Berg Gudmundsson starts for Manuel Benson. In a way, a little bit surprised.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, though, you're going into an October period that is 8 games, and then obviously, you know, the ones that come in November as well before the World Cup break. So the schedule is absolutely jam-packed, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do see more. You know,
yes.
What appears to be rotation.
Yes.
So
yeah, the West Brom game in particular, where Burnley looked a little tired, 3 games in 6 days. I just wonder if, you know, Vincent Kompany maybe just regrets not changing 1 or 2 for that Friday night game. Burnley were ever so close, one-headed clearance away from winning at the Hawthorns, but there were some tired legs.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's obviously like very fine margin there, as you say. It was an end-to-end game there. Quite frantic. It's going to be testing to players' staminas and, you know, physicality in the game.
Yes.
So yeah, like I said, I think, you know, squad rotation is probably going to be something that we will see over the next month.
And it will suit Burnley.
I've got to thought so. I mean, it's got to suit a team, really, when the schedule is bad. You know, unless we've got a superhuman 11 that, you know, can go into all those Saturday, Tuesday games. You know, it's bound to happen.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Let me go through the sides for you then. Starting obviously with Burnley, those 2 changes we mentioned. Charlie Taylor coming back in for Jordan Bear, and we've got Johan Berg Gudmundsson back in for scorer. Manuel Benson got a goal against Bristol City, of course. So Aaron Miric in goal. Connor Roberts right back. He'll get a reception today. More on that in a minute. Ian Matson at left back. Taylor Harwood-Bellis and Charlie Taylor in the centre. Jack Court, Josh Cullen holding roles. Ahead of them, Johan Berg Gudmundsson did well when he came on against Bristol City. Created the winner. Josh Brownhill, Nathan Teller. And it's, of course, Jay Rodriguez, top scorer up front. On the bench for Burnley, Bailey Peacock-Farrell, Ashley Barnes, Manuel Benson, Anas Saruri, Vitinho, Samuel Bastian and Jordan Bear. So 2 changes, Taylor for Bear, Gudmundsson for Benson. Just battling with a loud PA here. For Cardiff, they're sort of managerless. Mark Hudson stepped up after the dismissal of Steve Morrison. They have played 5 at the back, but I think today it's 4. Ryan Alsop, the former Derby keeper, in goal. Marlon Romeo at right back. Niels Nkuku at left back, he's on loan from Everton. Perry and G and Cedric Kipre in the centre. Ryan Wintle, who was on loan at Blackpool last season, holding role we think for him. Shea Ojo on the right hand side. Callum O'Dowd, look out for him, he's a good player on the left hand side. Mark Harris, Joe Rolls behind Callum Robinson, former Preston player, signed from West Brom, of course, Republic of Ireland international. Cardiff's bench, Jack Alnick, the keeper, reserve keeper. He's the brother of Ben, who played in that Spurs League Cup tie all those years ago. Curtis Nelson, Romain Sawyers, Gavin White, Northern Ireland international winger, Jack Simpson, Andy Runamoto and Max Waters. So that's their bench. Gavin Ward is our referee. James Bell, the 4th official. So I missed the Bristol City game, Dave. Bad on me. I've got to say, I've seen it back since. I thought we were excellent.
Yeah, we did look good again. Goals from, obviously, Jay and Manuel Benson. Felt like a bit of a tight game in spots, but, you know, I think we ran out deserved winners there. And, you know, it's all part of, you know, what feels like the opening period of the season.
Yeah.
Kind of coming to a close in a way. And I think you really have seen the side, really develop over those opening fixtures, and obviously Vinny getting more to grips with what he feels is his best 11, and what obviously what we're talking about before in terms of like rotation, what he feels he can play like alongside that. But yeah, good performance all around. Another great win at Turf Moor. Atmosphere was fantastic. I think that's something that we need to talk about as well. Just like the atmosphere at Turf Moor so far this season, it's been phenomenal.
Yes,
really,
real
really
noise, isn't
there? Yeah.
The fans have taken to the new style really well.
Yeah, absolutely. It is an exciting time for the club, for sure. I think it's a very, very competitive league, but the difference is like this season, we're going into a lot of games, a bit more optimistic of what's possible, and naturally that's going to resonate well with the fans, and they're usually there in good voice at the moment. So yeah.
So often Burnley would be the underdog in the Premier League. Now it's the role reverse, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not to. You can't really think that we are going to go into every game and win, because like I say, this league is ridiculously competitive. There's no doubts about that. There's a lot of teams fighting and scrapping to get into that top 6 and possibly into the top 2. So yeah, it's really good stuff at the moment. Exciting to watch, and the fans seem to be enjoying themselves.
One of those players who's been doing so well, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, performing superbly this season. Got his first goal against Preston and has just returned from under-21 duties with England. We caught up with him this week to find out how the Man City loanee is finding life at the Clarets. And it's Harwood-Bellis with his first goal for Burnley.
First of all, Taylor, thanks for joining us this morning. Welcome back. How's the international break gone for you?
Yeah, it was good. It was a positive one. We had 2 tough friendlies against 2 obviously really good nations, and 2 wins, which was really good. And we're on a bit of a high at the minute.
It must be a privilege and an honour, for you to represent your country at the 21s, but to captain them as well, does that give it that little extra sense of pride? Yeah.
To be fair, I've captained England through the age groups, and when I got to 21s, I didn't change that. I wanted to wear the armband, but that doesn't obviously make it obviously makes it special. But I enjoy playing for my country, whether captain or not. So I do enjoy it a lot.
And moving on to Burnley, you seem to have settled in life very well, here at the club, on and off the pitch. How do you feel it's gone for you so far?
I'm loving it. It's not surprised how good of a club it is. I come in with that expectation. It's lived up to it, and even more, to be fair. It's the lads are unreal. Couldn't have asked for any more. And obviously the staff and the fans as well. I think I mentioned it after the Preston game about the fans. They've been class, and hopefully it carries on.
Cardiff on the weekend. Looking forward to getting back to club football and getting the season going again.
Yeah, massive. I felt like we were on a bit of a rhythm. I had a good little rhythm going, and hopefully that can carry on. I think it will. I've got no doubts that obviously we'll be back in training. I think everyone's back today, back in training and stuff. So I'm sure the stands will be high again, and obviously we'll push to Saturday and get the job done in Cardiff.
A really busy month as well is October. I think eight league games coming up against one of your former clubs as well next week, Stoke. Will be nice to see a few former faces and come up against them. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to see the lads, to be fair. And I want 3 points, like much more than anyone else. So it'll be good. But obviously focus on Cardiff. It's going to be a tough game, but obviously, as I said before, the lads will be on it today, and we'll be looking to get the 3 points there.
Great to hear from Taylor Harwood-Bellis there. I mean, Dave, he's been superb so far this season. Looks a really cultured defender.
Yeah, really, really good. Fantastic young talent that we've got there. A few times this season, he's looked so good at getting us out from the back, getting us moving up the pitch. Scored a goal at Preston. He looks all around really, really good centre-back.
We look well set there now, don't we? Jordan Bear's done well since he came in. Obviously, Charlie Taylor back in today. We look well set there. Yeah, well,
considering how well we were set, last season and the seasons previous. Every credit to those two. They did a fantastic job for us. But the guys who've come in now certainly stepped up, and yeah, it's looking like a really decent back four, like cultured, like you say.
And Kevin Long on the way back as well, played 45 minutes the other week against Arsenal for the under-21. So, I'm sure Kevin Long's got a part to play this season.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what you're going to get from Longy. When he's played his part over the years for Burnley, he's usually come in and done a solid job there. He's a reliable centre back for sure. But yeah, obviously, like you say, Jordan Bayer coming in. Been impressed with him since he's got minutes on the pitch. I think we were saying one of the games previous, just like how Charlie Taylor has adapted into that centre back position. Like coming in from left back position, which he's so used to. So yeah, all round really good. And yeah, just going back to Taylor, he's a fantastic player. As you saw in the interview there. Really good talker as well. I mean, we were chatting to him after the interview. He did a bit more content with us on his Preston goal. And talk. It's one of those match moments, walkthroughs that we've been doing, and kind of talking us through. The thought process behind it. Set pieces, getting away from your man, heading technique, that sort of thing. And he even talked about the celebration as well. He was saying he was going to wheel away to the away fans, but he realised how far away they were, so decided to just go for a knee slide in the corner. But yeah.
Let's hope there's many more to come. I'm sure there will be. He looks a typical Man City player, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got those qualities that you can see allowing him to play out from the back, and like I said, having the confidence to advance from that back line and potentially break through opposition lines, get us moving, get us into midfield, and get us up the other end of the pitch really. So yeah, he does look like a really good package for sure.
Now then, someone who's no stranger to the turf, Radio 1 DJ Jordan North had the chance to meet Vincent Kompany a few weeks ago to chat all things Burnley.
Hey, here he is. Nice to meet you.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good, thanks. Vincent, thanks for meeting us.
Yeah, really happy to speak to you.
First of all, how are you finding the championship so far?
It's physical, it's aggressive, it's game after game after game, and it gives a different challenge as a coach. Like I was used to have like a nice week of preparation, but I wanted something different, and I love the team I'm working with, the players and the club. It's a good place.
And the style of play at the moment is all, I can tell you, it's all everybody's talking about. It's like there's a lift in the town, there's an excitement as well. It's exciting. Is that what you wanted to bring when you came in?
It's what I know. I think by I guess it's the other way around. By bringing me in, that was inevitably going to be what I bring. I couldn't see the game in another way. I respect every other way of the game, but this is how I understand the game. And I think the biggest thing for me is I want fans to be proud of the players.
Yeah.
I know there's a style of play, but I can tell you now that every game we've played so far, I think we've outrun the opposition by 20%. And that's something I'm really proud of. It's not because running gets you the results or just that, but it's just to stay in line with what this club expects and demands. Is players who work hard.
Vinny, thanks very much.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any more?
That was brilliant, hearing from Jordan North with Vincent Kompany. The full interview is on YouTube and Clarets Plus. Well worth a watch, and there'll be more on that in Wednesday's programme when Burnley entertain Stoke City. Now then, Burnley left the international break on a high 2 weeks ago with a 2-1 win against Bristol City at Turf Moor. Let's take a quick look at the highlights.
Here he is again, Benson, edge of the penalty here. Oh, they're backing off, Benson's shot! It's in there! Brilliant strike! Manuel Benson with a wonderful left-footed shot, which gives the goalkeeper no chance at all, and Burnley are off to an absolute flyer at Turf Moor. It's De Silva with his left foot who's going to take the corner, whipped in towards a near post, comes all the way across goal, and it's in. There's a Matt Goldmouth scramble right on the goal line as Muric stayed at home, and they are level. It's Naki Wells.
indicated there'll be a minimum of 2 minutes at a time. Sponsored.
Now then, here comes a ball that's lifted forward towards Nels on the right foot. It comes across the face of goal. Muric makes a brilliant save. It's from point-blank range, and it needed as well to be to deny Vyman. Ball out to that right-hand side, and Gudmundsson. Connor Roberts is the furthest player forward, and that's the ball in towards it! Yeah! Beautiful touch by Jay Rodriguez, turns the ball home, and Burnley are back in front. Well, we've said that the pressure would surely have to tell eventually. Jay Rodriguez takes the plaudits and takes the celebrations. A corner for Bristol City. It's delivered in towards the near post, and the follow-up shot. Well, it might have been cleared away by Harwood Bellis rather than the goalkeeper. And Burnley are getting players forward inside the penalty area. It's Brownhill on the edge of the box, who twists, turns, shoots left footed. The goalkeeper might have taken a deflection. As it was, he didn't look comfortable anyway. He got it saved with his right arm more than anything. Masengo turning inside the centre circle, but he's turned into Rodriguez, and Burnley have the ball, and this now is Zarori on the left-hand side. He's got a defender to beat, he's got a defender for cover, and he's gone for the near post, and the goalkeeper's almost sold himself short there. It's a really good recovery by Bentley.
That's Burnley beating Bristol City by 2-1 2 weeks ago. Big thanks to John Bradley and Lauren Bracewell for that commentary. Excellent stuff against Bristol City. Jay Rodriguez with the winner, Dave. 5 for the season now, 47 league goals for Burnley. He looks good.
Yeah, he is looking good. You know we can do it at this level for sure. Like when he had his time at West Brom, he's still fantastic talent. Really good all-round striker. He offers you a lot. He offers you a lot in terms of being a bit of a target man. His technique is great. He's quick on the ball. He's great at bringing other players into the game. You know, you've seen I think a couple of other goals where he's got assists, like, you know, he brought that ball down for Josh Brownhill to get on the end of it against Blackpool. And the goal that you've just seen there in the highlights against Bristol City, really good technique, got away from his man. Not the best marking I might add. But yeah, did well to get away from his man, get the space, and yeah, it's a good technique to get that header, the deft touch into the far corner.
A big game for Manuel Benson as well with the goal. Good for him to get off the mark because he looks a player.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we've got a few players who are, you know, very, you know, you can sense excitement as soon as they pick up the ball, and he's certainly one of them. You know, he drove into the box to score that ball. He's got confidence to drive forward. Again, very good technically on the ball, and you know, he shows there that he knows where the goal is.
12 games, we mentioned it, in 44 days before the World Cup. This is a manic spell, isn't it? That includes the Carabao Cup tie against Crawley. I mean, the substitutes will be disappointed in missing out, but they've got a massive part to play.
Yeah, for sure. You know, just what we're talking about with squad rotation, it's massive. Everybody's going to be playing the part here. You know, whether they're coming on from the start of the game or they're picking up the last 10 minutes, you know, to help us get over the line for a win. Yeah, for sure. Everybody's got the part to play. It's going to be very demanding. You know, I like to think that the lads are, you know, for ones who weren't used to it, the schedule, are getting used to it or have gotten used to it now. But there's certainly a lot of their experience still in that squad that, you know, will know this sort of schedule inside out.
Been promoted from the division before.
And you know, will naturally be able to help the younger lads, and you know, I'm sure like all the backroom staff with the coaches as well are doing everything to, you know, keep lads fit, get them fitter as well, get them in the zone for playing such a demanding schedule.
A big day for young Charlie Casper, just 17 years of age. He's travelled with the team today. Young keeper that's highly rated here at Burnley, son of Chris Casper, grandson of Burnley legend Frank Casper. He's out there warming up. Now then, Vincent Kompany has been talking to the press ahead of today's game. Let's have a quick look at what he had to say.
How is everybody? Had a decent break, or have you had them in and ticking over?
Yeah, no, I think it's been fine. It's been different for everyone. Some have gone national teams, some have stayed here, some have had some time to recover as well. But in all, with the how heavy the schedule is, it's been a good time. Yeah.
How is everybody? Have you got players not available? Anybody fighting to make it?
If you name the players, I will give you an honest answer. But otherwise, I'm trying to give as little away as I can. And the only thing I can say is we've got no major concerns, and it's good to start this new heavy period. Yeah.
Heavy's the right word, isn't it? Because I think it's 8 games in October. What are your thoughts on that? It seems a very, very intensive time.
Yeah, I have no complaints. It's something I wanted to experience, wanted to do. I think we built the squad as well to do it. There's no hiding away from the time you have to put into it, though, to prepare every game to the standards you want to prepare them. But in general, I think the only little details I would add is that just to increase the number of subs on the bench, because we're going into a heavy period and it's all good and stuff. We want to play those games, but we don't seem to have the ability to bring in as many players as we need to, and that's a detail that I would change.
How do you manage the situation though? Because I'm guessing, like when you were a player, every player wants to play in every game, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, one is you make the players aware of the demand of the schedule and the absolute discipline they need to have to stay. You can't have ups and downs because a player doesn't play. Crack on, do your job, work hard. It's our task to give them a feeling like they are developing whilst they're with us, even if they don't play. And it's their task to work hard and compete and try and be better than whoever's playing. And if that balance is right, then having a big squad is a necessity, yeah.
That's Vincent Kompany speaking on Thursday ahead of today's game. Couple of things, Dave. I think Craig Bellamy will get a good reception here today.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Obviously, been playing here in his career. The whole Wales connection, for sure.
Yeah, promoted with them, wasn't he, to the Premier League?
Yeah.
So, he was a big player for them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure he will do. Not sure Connor Roberts.
To the flip side. Yeah, you knew what I was going to say there. It'll be good and bad, I think. Do you think Connor will sort of thrive on that?
I think so. He's one of those players who has a lot of fire in his belly and passion. You can tell for sure. And I think some players do kind of feed off the energy and the reception of the crowd, whether it's home or away. And yeah, I'm sure he'll be.
Just look out for that, because you'll hear it. I'm sure it's going to be some contrast in receptions, I think, between Craig Bellamy and Connor Roberts. We played Cardiff here virtually 4 years to the day, 30th of September 2018. It's the Clarets' last visit here in the Premier League. Let's take a quick look at that game. Ball in here towards Westwood. Can he hook the ball in towards the back post? Looking for Gudmundsson. Heads it down and in. Johan Gudmundsson with the header at the far post. Burnley have the lead. We've played 6 second-half minutes. Westwood was quick there to get the ball towards the back post. Gudmundsson won the header. Mangus gone again. Burnley not stuck with him. Ball into the middle. He's dangerous. Shot on target. Murphy scored. On the hour, it's all square. Peeling away here is Gudmundsson. We can get on the end of this. Ups it back inside for Vokes. Yes! It's 2-1. Sam Vokes. What a way to celebrate your 100th Premier League appearance. He's netted. Burnley ahead. Cardiff City 1. Burnley 2. Sam Vokes with the goal. Goals for Johan Berg Gudmundsson and Sam Vokes that day. Players still remaining from that starting 11. Gudmundsson, Cork, Taylor, Westwood, Barnes and Long. Kevin Long came on that day for James Tarkowski, early injury, and had a really good game, I remember. It means nothing really today, 4 years ago, does it? But it'll give people some good memories.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I was just going to say it's a season that is kind of etched in in my brain really. But I mean, for the 6 years that I've been working here, every season has kind of etched into the brain. Maybe there's bits of the COVID's those 2 seasons that you kind of forget. But certainly at 18-19 season, I mean, we just come off the back of
a great season.
A great season, and off the back of the summer of us playing in the Europa League qualifying rounds. It was a very tough start to that season. But I believe a couple of wins, one at home to Bournemouth.
Yeah, they were consecutive games, Bournemouth and Cardiff.
Yeah.
Turned the season almost, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was it then. We always seem to get, like 2 wins here, and then like, a bit of an iffy run, then 2 wins here. It was a strange one. You didn't really know what you were going to expect, but I mean, I think by the time we got round to Christmas in that season, it wasn't particularly looking great. We had a poor defeat to Everton on, I think it was
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, was it?
Yeah. Looked in trouble. In trouble.
And then the new year came and we went to Huddersfield, won 2-1, and it felt like it was quickly turning around. There was a big change in like who was starting around
Dwight
that time.
had come in, hadn't he?
Dwight came in. Heats came in for Joe Hart.
That's right.
Then I think there was wins at home to Cardiff, wins at home to Wolves. Dwight scored a magnificent goal. Some iconic commentary from you on that goal, I must say.
Who's coming off as he's been substituted. And at that point I was getting messages on my phone just to highlight the substitutes, and I knew he was coming off. It's a bit of a cheat, but it makes for decent commentary, doesn't it? I mean, Cardiff, a little bit surprised really with Cardiff. Just before we get to that, welcome to those fans joining us on Clarets Plus for audio commentary, and international fans joining us for the live video streams. Dave, Cardiff, it seemed early to make a decision on manager, didn't it? September, Steve Morrison, 10 games.
Yeah, so I mean,
you shouldn't be surprised. I know what you're going to say.
It just becomes a recurring theme, really. I mean, like take Watford for example. That's
never ending, is it?
Yeah, it does just seem never ending. This is a club that's obviously seen a lot of change over the years, ownerships, and in a way it doesn't surprise me. You don't really have to delve too much into the overall like performance of like their players or the manager. Really, it seems we do live in a football world these days where it's very easy to pull the trigger on someone.
Thankfully, Burnley more stable, you feel, and Vincent Kompany will get a chance.
Yeah, I mean, it feels that way. It feels like it's part of this whole new project, for sure.
Yeah, we did the double over them that Premier League season you mentioned, 2018-19, 2-1 here, 2-0 at home with Chris Wood getting both goals. I mean, Cardiff are 18th. They'll be looking over their shoulders a little bit.
Yeah, there's a few sides who have started to slip there. Obviously, like more we get into the season, the table starts, fanning out in a fashion that appears to be, how it's going to be towards April and May, but everybody knows in this league, you put a run together at the right time, particularly, you talk about like playoff side things, put together a run at the right time around March, April, and you absolutely stormed the league.
Like Forest did,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, like Cardiff, for example, they might be like slipping at the table at the moment, but, them and other sides,
can catch up,
exactly.
Yeah, can catch up, I'm sure. I mean, Sheffield United have impressed so far. They're top of the division. Play Birmingham at home today. You'd probably expect them to win.
Yeah, you'd think that's another 3 points for them. I think they're top scorers in the division, plus 14 on goal difference. I think we're plus 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's looking like they are certainly going to be up there challenging for that title, but yeah, a lot can change.
Are you surprised with Middlesbrough and West Brom, who the wrong end of the table at this stage and were well fancied?
Quite possibly, yeah. I mean, this is the thing, though. You always put your neck on the line with predictions at the start of the season, because go back to what I was saying before. It's such a competitive league. It's a cliche. Everybody says it, but that's the reality of it. There's big teams in this league these days. Teams with many Premier League seasons under the belts. Probably in good step like financially to improve their squads and that.
But guarantees nothing, does it?
That's it. Yeah, it's so competitive, but hopefully we can stick at what we've been doing so far, keep creeping up, and because I think we can all be happy with like where we are at the moment,
and the way we're playing. Yeah.
But I'm sure in that dressing room there is appetite for more. For more.
And what about the fans before we go any further? Not the easiest day to travel to Cardiff, is it?
No, of course not. I think anybody who makes the long journey today deserves every credit, really. Like fans, as I was saying before, they've been fantastic voice, particularly at Turf Moor, but we've travelled well. I know, like obviously, like Wigan and Preston just down the road, but like just seeing those away ends full, it's really, really great. And yeah, like I said, we're not going to be taking a huge amount, certainly not in comparison to say like Wigan and Preston, but yeah, every credit to them and sure being good voice as well.
Yeah, Alistair was hoping to be with us today. He sort of struggled finding a way to Cardiff this morning, didn't he? And couldn't make it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think
Planes, Trains and Automobiles might be before your time, the film with John Candy, but it reminded me a little bit of that.
I've heard my dad mention it a few times.
Thanks,
for sure.
Thanks, Dave. Cheers.
But yeah, it's a really tricky one. And like I messaged Alistair saying like even you're not going to cycle here, right? It's
bit too
he
far.
Probably could though, to be fair, because he's not bad at the old cycling game.
Might just take a bit longer than a morning.
Yeah.
What do you expect the atmosphere to be like here? Are you thinking they might get a little bit toxic if they go behind?
It's an interesting one. We're talking about this on the journey down. There's a few clubs throughout the divisions who aren't quite filling their stadiums, let's say, and it is tough, when a side's like, further down the table, not particularly performing, maybe the club isn't, particularly resonating well with the fans. It doesn't create the perfect.
But you've got to take advantage of that, haven't you? You've got to find a way of taking advantage.
Yeah, definitely. That's obviously a part of the game. Keeping home fans quiet. I mean, one of the things that Vinny touched on in his chat with Jordan North recently was that when he used to come to Turf Moor as a player, he would say like the key thing is like keeping the crowd quiet, because as soon as that crowd gets up, it becomes twice as hard and yeah, so like hopefully we can make it.
Similar here.
Similar here, quiet.
Yeah. It's 13 internationals, wasn't it? Various levels in the break. I was a little bit surprised by that number, having had the players move out, players come in.
Yeah,
it seemed a biggish number.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's great, obviously, and you've got a good mix throughout that 13. Like looking at like under 21s, for example, and under 18s. Like Victor Gromek, for example, playing for Poland under 18s.
Got back and scored yesterday, so he's getting back to business with the under 18s. They won 1-0 yesterday.
But yeah, really, really good.
A few match-offs as well, which doesn't happen often. Muric against Beacop Farrell. It was Arwood Bellis against Bear, wasn't it? And Matson against Sorori. So.
Exactly, that's always great to see. It puts a nice spin on it for certainly from like the media side of things, reporting on it. But yeah, really good to see more Clarets out on international duty.
It emphasises it's a young side, isn't it? A developing side.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, it was great when we were seeing the likes of like Popey and James Tarkovsky getting in the England squad. But it's obviously like 13. It's a
healthy number, isn't it? For a championship side. Very much on the up. You sense that squad. We're just waiting for the teams to emerge. Just to recap again: Taylor and Goodmanson back into the side. 2 changes. Burnley beat Bristol City 2-1 last time out. But 2 changes, not sitting in their laurels there. Benson makes way for Goodmanson, and Bayer makes way for Charlie Taylor, both on the bench. Just waiting for the teams to emerge. Not going to be full, Dave, by any means, is it?
No, it's like I was saying before. It is a shame. Obviously, you've seen this side in the Premier League, and I'm sure they were selling out plenty of games. But there's a few sides who struggle with this in terms of the size of their ground. like Coventry, for example, like
Yes.
MK Dons.
Yeah.
You know, it's
the big stadiums, aren't they,
it's-
when they're not full?
yeah, it's a strange one. You know, when it's a stadium that is kind of built with other things and football in mind, which I'm not saying is a bad thing by any stretch.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know, MK Dons, for example, they have like concerts there.
Yeah.
But it's a tricky one to balance when it's, you know, when it feels like it's a football
half
pitch, really.
full. Yeah. We'll see. I'm sure there'll be a good atmosphere. We're just waiting for the teams to emerge. Burnley play Stoke on Wednesday, remember, at home, 7:45 kick-off. Dave mentioned Coventry. We're there next Saturday, 3 o'clock kick-off. They're just geeing the crowd up now on the PA. We had a little tour around not round, but outside the Millennium Stadium, didn't we, this morning?
Yeah,
To kill a bit of time.
that was nice.
I've said a stadium too many, which is perhaps a bit unfair.
Well, I mean, when you've got like two stadiums right next to each other, I know you were pointing out the old rugby stadium right next to Millennium Stadium. It's a bit of an odd one, and then this one obviously just down the road is the cricket stadium that we could see as well. But no, it's a nice city. Enjoyed spending the evening here last night. And yeah.
Yeah,
really good.
Lucky I got here, really, wasn't it? With my passport.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah, maybe mention that at half time.
Yeah, we will do. Just waiting for the teams to emerge. We mentioned it, 12 fixtures in 44 days before the World Cup. The team's going to be busy, we're going to be busy. There's going to be plenty of action. And Burnley are striving to get towards the top of the division. Just waiting for the teams. Burnley are going to play in claret and blue today. We await our first appearance in the second strip and the third strip. But that will come. Cardiff City against Burnley. The away end just adding to it. It's a safe standing stadium here as well, which is a little bit different. I'm sure that a lot of clubs will have that in years to come.
Yeah, it does seem to be something that's ever developing. You see it cropping up more and more. I'm sure it'd be good for creating an atmosphere over in that corner with our lot.
Yeah, it'll work today, I'm sure. Just waiting for the teams to emerge. Busy day in the Championship today. We mentioned Sheffield United home to Birmingham, Blackpool at home to Norwich. So plenty to look out for. Blackburn playing Millwall at Ewood Park. But we're here, Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff City against Burnley. Clarence, good little recent record against Cardiff. Won the last two in that Premier League season. Here come the teams now. Jack Cork leaning out Burnley. Let's go through the teams for you. For the Clarets, Aaron Muric in goal. Connor Roberts, former Swansea player at right back. Ian Matson at left back. Taylor Harwood-Bellis, and a return for Charlie Taylor in the heart of defence. Holding roles for Jack Cork and Josh Cullen. Head of them, Johan Berg Gudmundsson starts again. Josh Brownhill and Nathan Teller up front. Top scorer Jay Rodriguez. Burnley bench, Bailey Peacock-Farrell, Ashley Barnes, Manuel Benson, Anas Sururi, Coutinho, Samuel Bastian and Jordan Bear. For Cardiff, looks like they've gone with a flat four at the back. Ryan Alsop, the former Derby keeper, in goal. Then Marlon Romeo at right back. Perry and G and Cedric Kipre in the centre. Niels Nkunku at left back. Ryan Wintle will be in a holding role. Shea Oj on the right-hand side. Callum O'Dowd on the left-hand side. Mark Harris and Joe Rolls in the centre. Callum Robinson up front. Bench for them, Jack Olnick is the reserve keeper, Curtis Nelson, Romain Sawyers, Gavin White, Jack Simpson, the former Bournemouth defender, Andy Runamoto and Max Waters. Our referee, Gavin Ward, fourth official, James Bell. It's nearly 10 years since Gavin Ward refereed a Burnley game. That is incredible. 2013, Burnley the winners that day by a 0-0 against Crystal Palace. And Jay Rodriguez scored that day. So Cardiff in all blue, Burnley claret and blue. We're set to get underway in a moment or two. Sense it's a big game, Dave, isn't it, on the return from the international break?
Yeah, it does. There's going to be massive appetite to get, you know, into the swing of things again and kick things off with a win as well. As we were saying before, you know, we left the opening period of this season playing particularly well. So yeah, really good.
If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for joining us, the Prematch Live. You can now switch over to Clarets Plus and our official app or website for live audio commentary. Or if you're outside of the UK, you can enjoy a full match stream in selected territories around the globe.